A hearty good evening to you, wherever you may be. Yes, it is time once again for the Champion Brothers ChampCast, Bubba's Big Broadcast, or
Let's talk some more Southern gospel.
absolutely right over there's Neal.
Chris is right there like he usually is.
Yes, sir. And we're here to tell you about some memories, some big events, and play you some good old Southern gospel music over the next little bit. How you been since I
Absolutely.
saw you last, which was on my computer screen last week? So
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just I got to doing a lot of thinking and memories just rolling back through my mind, and we're going to share a bunch of those tonight and play some really good Southern gospel music associated with each one of those memories. But as we do every week, we want to remind everybody that the Champion Brothers are bringing it back.
yes,
And
sir.
the next time we do is we're bringing it back to Vernon, Alabama, the Vernon City Complex, May 10th, Saturday night. What that's about, is that 2 weeks from this Saturday, something like
That's
that?
right. Yes, sir.
It's going to be here before we know it. We have got new ground coming to town. And if you're familiar with new ground, then you'll want to be there. If you're not, trust me, you want to be there.
Yep.
Great, great group delivering the gospel in the Southern gospel way. Let me tell you. Starts at 6 o'clock, like we always do. We'll open up the doors about 5, but come and enjoy. Faithful Friends will sing a few, Chosen Witness will sing a few, and then we'll have a whole lot of new ground. Won't cost you a bit to get in, like always. We'll give you a chance to support it so the Champion Brothers can keep bringing it back if you want to hear them and want to see them, these events and these groups. So, yeah, just please put it down. Please be telling others. That's what we need most is for you to tell others and spread the word and get other people to come too. And if you heard that, that was my cell phone. It's not on silent yet. So anyway, uh, just come and be with us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we always ask you to do, we would appreciate it if you would drop a comment in there and let us know that you have stopped by, just like Billy Shaw did right off the bat tonight. Said, good evening, guys. And Megan Edgeworth, one of our most faithful viewers, says, good evening, Champion Brothers and ChampCast family. Always good to see Megan. But just drop us a comment in there and let us know that you've stopped by. We would appreciate that a whole bunch.
Indeed.
If you like it and share it and all that kind of good stuff too. We know a lot of folks see it more after the fact than do while we're live, which is fine with us. But if you got something you want to say or talk about or respond to, feel free. But always want folks to drop that comment and let us know that you stopped by with us tonight. I love what you put on the notes for tonight. Memories. Wait, we were on the same stage as blank. So kick us off.
Man, a lot when we first started doing this, a lot of what we decided to do is just talk about how we grew up in Southern gospel music, a lot of the memories we had, a lot of the people that influenced us over the years, and just lots of memories. And as we've heard from many of you that have watched these, a lot of you remember those same things. And so this is another time when we're going to talk about memories. Now, we might have mentioned one of these or more than one of these in the past and another one, but I'm kind of bringing them all together now. As we were in part of the Colombian quartet that our dad sang in and me and Chris played in, and then later in the Bama Boys that our dad started, basically so his two boys that wanted to sing could sing.
Yeah.
Going through the years with those groups and then even into a little bit of a Chosen Witness. Once I started Chosen Witness, we have had the privilege to be on the program with some absolutely great ministers of the gospel through gospel song. And that's what I started thinking about the times that we were at concerts and were able to open up for, if you will, some of these great, some of them are just legends in the business and others were just became great friends over time. And so, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So we're going to go back in time to the very oldest one, and then we're going to come forward as we go. Okay. That sound good to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to drop this comment in here because this stunned me a little bit. Look at
Okay.
here. Sherry Coyle or Sherry Lee is here. So
Well, I'll be.
I think she's out in Texas, if
That is
memory serves me
cool.
correctly. So Yes, she will definitely identify with some of these memories because she was at a lot of these.
That's exactly right. Yes, you probably will. Yes.
But
Uh,
anyway, the first one that you talked about was one, and I'm going to put this because it was Colombians, and I thought this was
it
neat. You put
was.
up the Colombians card.
Yes, that's what the business card looked like back in the late 70s, Mr. Ken Cook and the Colombian Quartet.
Now, I can tell you, I don't think that phone number works anymore, but I'm 99.9% sure that you can still send him something at P.O. Box 3, Steens, Mississippi. So,
There you go. Yeah, isn't that something back then? The area code didn't really even matter, you know.
oh no,
Notice it hadn't
no.
even got an area code on there. So
I thought that was good. But
that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Carrollton, Alabama, Cherry Lee Country.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Do you remember this day?
I do.
I
It,
can't remember if it was before you started playing drums or after.
I think
But
it was after because
it was
I
after.
think I
Okay.
remember. I think we had the same suits that we wore on the cover of the second album that we
Okay.
did with them. Well, it just left me. What's
That
the
old ship.
that old ship's going to sail again? Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and but yeah, I want to say, and as I was looking down this list today after you had sent it to me, I was like, yeah, there's little bitty snippets of almost every one of these that I remember. And
Right.
it's kind of funny how I don't remember a really long stretch of anything,
Hmm.
but little bitty snippets like the Carrollton football stadium and being scared to death to go up and speak to George and Glenn, and then
Yes,
how encouraging they were to us and tried to put us at ease and all that kind of stuff. But
that's
that
right.
that's the big takeaway that I took from that one was just, I mean, I've seen these guys on the gospel singing Jubilee.
Yeah, that was the first time we had met them in person,
Yep.
and they could not have been nicer to us and encouraging to us
Yeah.
uh, that day. Yeah, it was George Yachts, Glenn Payne, George Amon Webster, Roy
Hmm.
Trimble singing tenor, and I
Yep.
believe Haskell Cooley was still on the piano that day.
Right. Yep.
And yeah, what an honor it was to see them in person and for them just to smile and like I say, encourage us. And it was incredible to that being the first time I met them in person. And I never saw them anytime after that it wasn't exactly the same. Anytime we were around those guys, George and Glenn. But yeah, this is just the song I picked. There's so many great cathedral songs, but this
Oh yeah.
album was from right around that time period. Let's listen to them singing Jesus is a Waymaker.
Jesus is a waymaker. Jesus is a waymaker. Jesus is a waymaker. One day he made a way for me. Oh, when my life was dark and drear, my Jesus came. Jesus came and he answered my prayer. One day he made a way for me. One day the sun refused to shine in this sinful life of mine. I prayed both night and day that Jesus would make a way. One day he heard my prayer and he answered right then and there. One day he made a way for me. Jesus is a way maker. Jesus is a way maker. Jesus is a way maker. One day he made a way for me. Oh, when my life was dark and drear, Jesus came. Jesus came and he answered my prayer. One day he made a way for me. One day my life will surely end, and I'll bid farewell to men. I tell him my ups and downs of evil that's all around. He'll say, my child, well done. The old race has now been run. One day he made a way for me. Jesus is a way maker. Jesus is a way maker. Jesus is a way maker. One day he made a way for me. Oh, when my life was dark and drear, my Jesus came. Jesus came and he answered my prayer. One day he made a way for me. way maker. Jesus is a way maker. One day he made a way for me. Whoa. When my life was dark and drear, my Jesus came. Jesus came and he answered my prayer. One day he made a way for me. Jesus made a way for me.
The Cathedrals and Jesus is a Waymaker here on the Champion Brothers broadcast this evening. Getting us started off with some good gospel memories. Remember singing with the Cathedrals at the Carrollton Football Stadium back around 1978. Kind of hurts me a little bit to say that was, what, 47 years ago? So.
It's not count.
It's
Let's
like
just talk about the memories.
It can't be. It just can't be.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that would get us started from, like you said, about 78, 79 in that era, and getting to meet them. And then if you move forward just a little bit, soon after that, a year or so after that, is when Dad left the Columbia and started the Bama Boys, because me and you had both shown interest in singing, and he decided, well, he's going to make a way for us to sing then. And so that's when the Bama Boys were born. And one of the early singings that we got to do, the original Bama Boys was, of course, you, myself, our dad, Joe Champion, and Don Shepard singing bass. And that group got to sing on stage at the Columbus City Auditorium, I believe it was, with none other than Hovey Lister and the Statesman Quartet, who were still traveling at that time. And there's some documented proof of it. There's one of the tickets from that day from the Columbus City Auditorium in 1980, 8 p.m. I'm thinking, I'm surprised I was still awake then. Yeah. I guess that kind of floored me. It was that late. But anyway, yeah, what a memory that night was. I was just in awe of, because of course Hovey's still a part of the group. Rosie Roselle was there, one of the legendary statesmen. And I walked around just probably like that all night, and again, they were just kind to us and just joking around. And I just I thought it was really cool to get to meet those legends, the group at that time. We'll show the cover here in a minute. We're going to play a song from a live recording that they did at the Joyful North Supper Club from long about that same time. And let's go right into the music. A very common gospel song. A lot of quartets that did it, but in the late 70s, or I think 79 is when this was recorded. We actually sang with them in 80. But listen to the Hovey Lister and the Statesman do I Want to Know.
Hovey Lister and his sensational Statesmen.
I want to know. I do not want to be denied. Yes, I want to live in that city so fair. That's enough for me to know. Well, I want to know that Jesus welcomes me there. I do not want to be denied. Yeah, let me live in that city so fair. That's enough for me to know. I do not know. They might say, oh, come, I must be prepared to go. If from earth I know the calling, oh Lord, that's enough for me to know. Well, I want to know that Jesus welcomes me there. I do not want to be denied. Well, let me live in that city so fair. That's enough for me to know. I want to know that He will welcome me there. I do not want to be denied. To live in that city so fair. That's enough for me to know.
Some good Statesman Quartet music, and I want to know. It's like you you can't do that without saying, do that little shake that Chief used to do, and Tommy did a little bit there. But
That's right. Yeah.
let's put that album cover back up.
Yeah,
You
do
got
that.
it, or I got it here, right
There
here.
you go.
Because we were talking before we came on about some of these, and of
Mhm.
course, in the bottom row there, Rosie Roselle and Hovey Lister and Tommy Thompson, tenor singer, piano player, and bass singer. And then going from right to left on the top row, Buddy Burton was the lead singer. Ed Hill was the baritone singer. And Neil and I, neither one knew the young man up in the left corner there, upper left, and it is Jake Robinson who played bass guitar. It was
Okay.
listed
Yeah.
according to Southern Gospel History that he did that in 1979.
Okay.
So there you go. I
Yeah.
think now I don't. It said that Jake Robinson was on this album. So also in 1979, they listed Vep Ellis II, the famous songwriter's grandson, as a bass guitar player in 1979 for the Statesman. But they did list Jake Robinson as the one that was on this album. So
Okay.
there you go. Odd facts known by few. So,
There you go.
and that I just learned just a little bit ago. I did see that some of the succeeding records after that was basically that same picture, but I guess they had Photoshop back in the early 80s too, because they had just basically erased Jake Robinson from the picture and all the rest of them were still there. So,
Same
in
photo.
that same lineup and looked like the same photo. So,
Wow.
anyway, thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
Man.
But we're remembering some memories and some of the folks that we've been blessed to get to sing with over the years.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I know we went to see them a whole bunch, but did we ever get to sing with the Kingsmen anywhere other than Memorial Coliseum? I don't. I was thinking about that a while ago, and it's like,
Well, yes, we also got to sing with them, I think, at Hamilton High School. Didn't we sing with them
that's
there?
right. Yeah, there
I
was one of
believe in
those years
Hamilton,
when it was the
Mississippi at the high
Kingsmen.
school.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But
Because my memory there is because Jim Hamill called us up at the end, had us come up
yeah,
on stage, and we sang with the Kingsmen and Heaven Bound and the Bama Boys.
that's right.
Sung
Yeah,
a song
I
together
do
on
remember
stage.
that now. So
Yeah.
it takes a minute sometimes to get it all fired back up. But yeah, and talking about we went to see the Kingsmen a whole lot through the years, whether or
Yes.
not we were singing with them.
Mhm.
And I remember, I think it was me and Scott went to see them up around Birmingham, Bessemer, I think it was.
Oh
And
yeah,
Hamill called me up on stage,
I remember that. Hearing that, I was not there.
and
Well,
they
wait a minute. Yes, I was. I was there that night too. I didn't come
were
with
you?
y'all,
Okay, all
but
right,
I think I was there too. You sang "Rest Assured" with them, didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
because the Bama Boys had sung that.
Hmm.
And it was a deep cut album cut that they didn't really stage that much. And Hamill said, "What do you want to sing, boy?" And I said, "Rest Assured." It's on the first song of side 2 of whatever album it was. And
Yeah.
he said, "What key you want to do it again in?" I said, "The same one y'all do." I didn't know what key. And we took off and lit into it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, there's a good memory." So
Yeah.
anyway. But we got to sing with them
Yeah.
at the Memorial Coliseum at the Firemen singing back
We
in the
did.
day.
Yeah. In what's now known as Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah.
The fire boy, what a lot of great singings over the years the firemen hosted there at that event. And yeah, one year the Bama Boys got to come along, and it was that same original group, Don Shepard, Dad, and you and I. At that time, I think Don was actually doing the morning Southern Gospel show on Q94 on the
Mhm.
radio.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that was just, again, I could not believe that we were at that Coliseum and that we walked up on the stage and that we got to sing.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get done and get back to my seat fast enough so that I could listen to the Mighty Kingsmen when they
Yeah.
came up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is a song I picked from around that same time from them as well. It was a one that we actually later did, the Bama Boys did. And I believe if it was not their opening song that night, it was maybe the second song. They did it early that night at Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's listen to them. I always thought the title of this song was "You and Me, Jesus," is what I always thought of it as. But on the album, it's printed as "It's You and Me, Jesus."
Oh,
So
okay.
let's to the Kingsmen do It's You and Me, Jesus.
They said I'd never make it. They said I would not last. They said I'd never get away from all the sin in my past. They said I would not last a day. They said I'd be right back. But here I am still with you, Lord. But I wonder where they're at. Oh, you and me, Jesus, we sure fooled them all. They just thought they knew for sure that I was gonna fall. I'm sure far from perfect, as you can plainly see. But after all these years, oh Lord, it's still you and me. My friends, they all did leave me, and they hung me out to dry. Sometimes I get so lonesome, I just hang my head and cry. I guess they thought they'd show me, and I know they've had their fun. But it really doesn't matter that much, 'cause you're still number one. Oh, you and me, Jesus, we sure fooled them all. They just thought they knew for sure that I was gonna fall. I'm sure far from perfect,
as you can plainly see.
but after all these years, oh Lord, it's still you and me. Oh, you and me, Jesus, we sure fooled them all. They just thought they knew for sure that I was gonna fall. I'm sure far from perfect, as you can plainly see. But after all these years, oh Lord, it's still you and me. But after all these years, oh Lord, it's still you and me.
And that's all. The Kingsmen and You and Me, Jesus. It's You and Me, Jesus, here on the Champion Brothers broadcast. Almost messed it up there.
Well, I had always thought of it as You and Me, Jesus. And when I was putting this together, I just happened to notice, well, it's You and Me, Jesus.
Yep. Odd facts known by few again. So
I believe I want to say the Masters 5 also recorded that, because I think I remember Jake Hess singing it, and they might have listed it as You and Me, Jesus. Maybe that's where I got that. But anyway,
because I think we recorded that, didn't we?
we did, yeah, on the original debut Bama Boys recording
Yep.
titled "Where Are You?"
There
Yep.
you go.
Speaking of
anyway,
that original Bama Boys, I want to sneak one of these in here. Now this one is just this is a memory indeed, and it's from that night, the actual night when we sang on there at the Fireman Singing, featuring the Kingsmen Quartet that night. This is a recording from a big old handheld cassette recorder that was drug in there and mashed play and record so you could record. And it captured this moment, and there's a lot of noise on it, and I cleaned it up some, but
yeah.
I just want to let y'all hear from about 1980, 82, maybe 81, something like that. The Bama Boys. Now the one, I mean, here's the four you're fixing to see, or fixing to listen to.
Yeah.
Right. Where is it? Did we put that picture on here, or did it not make it on?
The one in Hamilton?
No, it was a picture of just the original group, the four that's going to sing right now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it didn't make it.
There was one that was kind of jumbled and I couldn't download. So, yeah. But anyway.
Okay. Well, that's all right. It was a picture of us back then. Chris was about, 3.5 feet tall, and I was about
it the
4.5
one in
feet
the ruffled
wide.
shirts and the bow ties?
No, it was us actually standing at Pleasant Grove Church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe somehow I messed that up. Anyway, we'll see.
There's the card that we.
Yeah, boy, remember the card back in them days? Woo, man, yeah, gold letters and red. Anyway, let's listen to this. This was a song that had been released by Gold City at that time, and we just had a fun time doing this a cappella song there at Memorial Coliseum. So listen to the Bama Boys from the early 1980s.
There's you some Bama Boys music, and Ezekiel saw the wheel. And I guess I just overlooked it because I just looked back in the folder and found that picture, unless you just went and put it back in there again. So I'm going to try real quick to bring it back up if Neil's back. I don't know if he is or not. But anyway, give me a second and I'll find this again. So where is it? Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the 4 that we were seeing that night. So
Yeah. Well, now I've lost it when there it is. Okay, here we go.
yeah, throw it
Here
up
we
there.
go. It's coming. It's coming. Thought it was. Wait a
This is
minute.
what they looked like back then.
Well, it's still trying to upload. So, bear
Oh,
with
okay.
me. So,
The thing is, I listened to that about. I mean, I've always said my favorite Southern gospel singer was our dad,
yeah.
and I don't think I ever heard him hit a note off pitch. I don't
Unless he
think.
was trying to, and then it was hard.
Well, yeah, unless he was trying to sing like a roadhog or something, but yeah, and listen to that right there, just spot on. And the Don was so excited and all on some of them low notes, he had to kind of roll on down there because he couldn't quite get there at the first, but he still hit them though.
And of course, this ain't wanting to G-haul with me all of a sudden. So, bear
Well, that's
with
all
me.
right. It's our show. We can wait
We're
if we want to.
we're still trying. So,
Yeah. It was just a picture that I came across that was from that
oh,
same
I
time
think I know
period.
why the type of file that it is not wanting to G-haul with the system that I'm using.
Oh,
So
these guys won't
it's
display it.
it's a TIFF instead of a GIF. So
There you
anyway,
go.
we'll show you sometime.
Well,
We'll get it. But in the meantime, let's see. Let's say hey to Sharon Owens, who's giving us a wave tonight.
hey, Sharon.
And Billy Shaw chimes back in, and he put a bunch of emojis up. For some reason, that didn't transfer. You need to play the whole first album the Bama Boys did one night. So okay.
All right. That'll be a time.
Ken Cook drops in and says, "Hey guys, finally made it on." So I had just sent them a text because again, it's our show and we can do what we want. But
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if and when I wanted to put this in. But last week we were talking about the AI, and I showed the little thing that the AI created of me,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, well that didn't work too good. I got to put my spectacles on so I can see it, but I don't know if you've seen it or not, but apparently the rage this week has been taking Easter pictures that families made and getting a Chat GPT to roast you on it. Have you seen any of those?
I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have.
So I went, I was looking at that and I said, well, I wonder what it would do if it wasn't necessarily a family picture. So I gave it this picture of faithful friends. And I
All
said, I
right.
want you to gently roast these four members of a Southern Gospel quartet. And so this is what ChatGPT came up with. It says this Southern Gospel Quartet looks like they just finished a heated debate about which hymnal edition is actually anointed by the Lord. They've clearly mastered the three tenets of the genre: matching pitch, mismatching blazers, and maximum side part volume. Then, starting on each individual person, on the far left, the red striped tie is bold, bold like someone who thinks bless your heart is a legitimate form of conflict resolution. He's got that face that says, I run the church soundboard and I don't take requests.
Okay.
That's me it's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next up, second from left, this man has absolutely yelled, that's not real Southern gospel at a Gaither DVD. He's the only one in light colored pants, which tells me two things. He's fearless and he doesn't help clean up after potlucks. Second from right, his expression says, this is my serious gospel face, but I guarantee he breaks into a dad joke before the second verse. The color coordination here is almost impressive. It's like all the shades of beige got together and said, let's mildly confuse everyone. And then on the far right, the fashion rebel, seersucker jacket, artistic soul patch, and shoes that say, I'm here for the music and the post service fried catfish. He's probably the one who insists on adding a jazz chord to the end of every hymn just to keep things fresh. And
You're
that
kidding.
painting in the background, it looks like it's watching them and whispering, you guys do know it's 2025, right? Let's be real though. These dudes may look like they time travel from a church bulletin, but they probably sound like angels with perfect pitch and an opinion on every Gaither reunion ever recorded.
And that was AI's
That
words,
was
not
all
yours.
AI generated. I uploaded that picture and I said, gently roast these boys.
Wow.
And that's what it came up with.
That's pretty amazing that it said that about Randy and the jazz chords on the end.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
that was interesting. I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So anyway, I had just texted all the Faithful Friends boys and told them that we were on and that I was fixing to have some fun with Faithful Friends. So Brad joined in, and Judy Armstrong joins in too. Glad to see you. And then Brad is bah ha ha ha, and at that. I thought that was pretty neat. That didn't cost you any
Definitely.
extra. I was just having some fun. So,
Definitely.
hey, let's tell them about a concert. You want to?
Let's do it.
Coming up real soon, as in 2 weeks from this Saturday, the Champion Brothers are bringing it back to the Vernon City Complex in Vernon, Alabama, conveniently located right at the intersections of Highway 17 and 18 in downtown Vernon, the old Lamar County High School auditorium. And we're going to start at 6 o'clock with Chosen Witness singing some and Faithful Friends singing some. And then we're going to turn the night over to New Ground and just bring you seatbelts. Seatbelts are optional, I guess, inside the building. But you talk about a spirit filled and power filled service with a lot of energy. You're going to love New Ground. And we're just looking so forward to having those fine folks with us, Robbie and Dale Maxwell and David Owens, and just looking so forward to seeing them. And just looking forward to seeing you there too. Not going to cost you anything to get in. Just come on and have a great evening with us. We will give you an opportunity to contribute if you want to, but we'd love for you to help us out. But you don't have to. That's not a requirement whatsoever. We just want you to come and enjoy a great evening of some good gospel music with us, and that's going to be on May 10th, 2 weeks from this Saturday. At 6 o'clock, we'll open the doors up at 5 and start letting folks in. Y'all just come be with us in Vernon, Alabama at the Vernon City Complex.
Indeed. It's going to be a good time for sure.
So we're remembering some good times that we had through our singing years and some of the groups that we got to sing with from time to time. And you've brought us up to Gold City.
Gold City. What more do you need to say but Gold City?
Yep. The only other thing left to say is Ivan Parker took a bath in our bathroom.
Yes. They came to
That's
the
the one thing I remember from that night.
yeah, Proximore United Methodist Church, which we just live right down the street from there. And
And I don't know if she's
I
still watching, but wasn't it Sherry Lee that said she wanted the towel that he used? I just got to thinking
Now
about
that you
that.
mentioned it, it might have been. Our mama might have said the same thing though. Hey, mom, she's watching.
Yeah,
But
hey, mom.
yeah, I'm not so sure she didn't just put it up and still got it stashed away somewhere. So, but yeah, there was at the time there was not a quote hotter group anywhere. At Gold City, they were really just starting their launch, and yeah, what a great time that was. They came right there to Millport, and that we got to open them up for them with a few songs the Bama Boys did, and then turn Gold City loose. And I just started thinking about, okay, what song do I want to play from that time? And one popped right in my mind, and I went straight to it. And sure enough, it was that same year, and I thought it was. I'm sure they did it that night. And so let's listen to Gold City sing John Saw.
John saw Jasper walk. Oh my, what a vision. John told of shining streets of gold, where all God's saints shall forever stroll.
I wondered
Time and again, how could it have been to gaze upon that heavenly throne? But I wonder no more when I step on that shore to walk upon the golden ground that John saw.
John saw a land,
I know I'll
he
share
saw a river.
flowing there.
John, tell me more.
John, tell me more. John, tell it all.
John saw a throne,
So bright and
he
fair,
saw the gate.
with beauty rare. Someday I want to walk the golden ground that John saw. John saw Jasper walk. Oh my, what a vision. John told of shining streets of gold, where all God's saints shall forever stroll.
I wondered
Time and again, how could it have been to gaze upon that heavenly throne? But I wonder no more when I step on that shore to walk upon the golden ground that John saw.
John heard a voice,
From heaven
I
say,
brushed the tears.
all tears away.
John, tell me more.
John, tell me more. John, tell it all.
He said no death,
Shall enter there
no grief or pain.
for us to bear. Oh, how I long to walk the golden ground that John saw.
Just in the midst
Of paradise,
John saw a tree.
a tree of life.
John, tell me more.
John, tell me more. John, tell it all.
The sun and moon,
No longer
the
shine,
Lamb of God.
shall give the light forever shining on the golden ground that John saw. John saw Jasper walk. Oh my, what a vision. John told of shining streets of gold, where all God's saints shall forever stroll. Time and again, how could it have been to gaze upon that heavenly throne? But I wonder no more when I step on that shore to walk upon the golden ground that John saw. John saw Jasper walk. Oh my, what a vision. John told
That's Gold City and John Saw here on the Champion Brothers broadcast this evening. That was one of the early songs that I got to play on the radio, and I was like, man, it took them a long time to fade that out, but
Yeah.
you never know quite when to jump in. But
Right.
yeah, that was some great music there, and John Saw from the Gold City Quartet.
Yep, as they rolled right through Millport, Alabama, as they did actually many times at Macedonia. They were there numerous times over the years. But yeah, that particular night, I definitely remember them rolling through town. And like you said, Ivan Parker using our restroom to freshen up a bit. So, hey, let's back up just a couple. I got that picture. I want to scare people with it. I finally got it uploaded.
Yes.
Before we played that little recording of us singing at Memorial Coliseum 100 years ago, bad quality, all that. But this right here is the 4 people that you heard singing.
There you go.
This is us actually at Pleasant Grove outside of Millport one time, but that's the original Bama Boys, and that's the ones that were singing that night. And so that tenor boy, effortless. See, it was coming from that little guy right there. It was effortless back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because my voice hadn't changed yet.
That's right. That's right.
I had my calculator watch on, and I probably had a Uniball black ink micro pen in my right front pants pocket, because that was about the time I started both of them.
So predictable. Isn't that something? So predictable.
That's good stuff.
Anyway, all
Let's
memories
back up
memories.
and say some more howdies. Randy Pennington chimed in. And when we was talking about the jazz chord, he's a 6 waiting to happen. And he can do it better than anybody I know.
Yeah, there you go.
And Brad says, and no, Chris, we are not taking side shots of us like that for the new albums. Like, okay, I don't care. I just show up. So,
New album. Ooh, is that a leak?
well, that could
Is that a
be.
leak?
Could be.
New album.
Could be.
Oh,
Just
okay.
wait. What
Just
is it they
wait.
say about a year before that comes out? We are in the process now of selecting songs for the
Right.
forthcoming Faithful Friends album. So,
Hey, while we're throwing up Bama Boys pictures, let's do another one, because what we talked about earlier, singing with the Kingsman Quartet at Hamilton, Mississippi, Hamilton High School. Look at there. The
Yeah.
pastel coats was
the Easter egg outfit.
there.
So,
Yes, that's at
that
the
Aunt and
Hamilton.
Uncle Thack bought for us. So.
They did. But that was at Hamilton High School Gymnasium that night. The Kingsmen were there. Heaven Bound was there, and we're fixing to share a song from Heaven Bound. As a matter of fact, we got proof they were there. Like, look right there. There they are.
Same stage, same
And
night.
they lit it up that night, I guarantee you. And they were, again, just very cordial to us, very nice. I remember when Hamill called us up on stage to sing together, I was absolutely terrified. And Alan, the tenor there, and Gary Shepard was actually a tenor then with the Kingsmen, and they they looked at me and they said, just sing the baritone octave high. That's what we're going to do. And they took off. And I just started trying to sing some harmony, and I was singing with them. So great. But anyway, it was it was a great time, and Heaven Bound there that night for sure. And that's one I wanted to share with them. We got to share the stage with them that night, and I feel his promise. I mean, everything they did in that day was Jeff Gibson written. I mean, every single song on every single album, and this one is as well. Let's listen to Heaven Bound singing, I Feel His Promise.
I feel His promise sweeping upon us like a mighty rushing wind. The Holy Ghost and power burning like a fire. His promises upon us again. Jesus said, I am leaving, but until I come
That's Heaven Bound, and I feel his promise here on the Champion Brothers broadcast this evening. Good memories. That's some more radio good memories, too. That real quick, sharp ending. Had to be ready. No
Yeah.
dead air between the end of the song when I started talking. So
There you
it
go.
came back like riding a bicycle.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm just overwhelmed when I think about the opportunities that the Lord gave us over the years to meet some of these people and what legends a lot of them, became or were already. And just how thankful I am that we were able to make these kind of memories going back. And yeah, it's a pleasure just to share them with you folks tonight. Let's remind them. Let's just show this right here. These are the guys that are coming to Vernon, May
Oh,
the 10th.
yes.
New Ground is coming to Vernon, Alabama. Dale and Robbie Maxwell and David Owens on the right, and they are full of energy and they will bless your heart. And I said last week, they were one of the first groups that I made a note of when we started talking about having concerts back in our area in Fayette and Vernon. And so I'm glad we got them. We finally got them coming, and y'all just need to come out. Everybody, please come out and hear them. May the 10th, Saturday night, 6 o'clock there at Vernon City Complex. I promise you, you will not leave disappointed.
No, not at all. So, but yeah, we've got some more stuff coming up in just a little bit. Oh, wait. Oh, we
Where
got
did
a
that come from?
NFL draft update going
So we got an ESPN feed coming in here or something? My goodness. Somebody's hacked us.
on. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I saw you looking over a good bit. I figured that's what you had watching.
Yeah, it was on, and it tickled me. I was telling Sweetie that we were going to do this tonight, and then I told her it was at 6:30, and I said draft's coming on at 7, and she's like, "Oh, is that why y'all are starting at 6:30?" I said, "No, Neal offered me 3 times, and I picked the one in the middle." So
There you go. Yeah. I got it recording so I can see any highlights I might want to look at and fast forward through the rest.
But I think that was a pretty much a sure thing. I added that a while ago, and I was like, "Yeah, I hope that's true." But
Yeah.
just
Right.
having some fun. Oh, you're too funning right now. All right, mighty fine.
Here, here. Here, here.
Inspirations. We got to sing with them a couple of different times.
We did. Yeah.
Through the
This was
years.
about, let's see, that Heaven Bound thing was around 1986, I believe. And then this was around 89, a little bit further.
But the first time we sang with them was in like 77 or 78, wasn't it?
It was with the
the
Colombians at the Millport at Bucket Coliseum, Millport Gymnasium. That's
Or
right.
the Coon Hunter singing.
There you go.
'Cause
I forgot
I
that.
can't remember. It hadn't been too long ago. I think maybe Mike Newman and I were talking one day about the old times and the gospel music and all that. And we were talking about back then, the Inspirations would come to Millport on, I think it was like the first Thursday in December, which is historically when the Millport Christmas Parade was. And so they would have the Christmas parade, and more often than not, the Inspirations bus would be in the Christmas parade. And then as soon as Christmas parade was over, everybody'd come to the gym for the Coon Hunter singing.
There you go.
Shorty Dawkins and all that crowd. And,
Yeah.
a lot of times the Inspirations come in a little bit early, and they'd go coon hunting with them.
Man alive.
But I was just like, why remember such random stuff like that, but can't remember what I did yesterday? It's,
Well,
beyond
what I
me.
remember
But
about one of those times at Millport with the Inspirations, it was everything was set up, and there was a stage that they would set up in the gymnasium. It's about 3 feet off the floor. All the Inspirations were set up. We were set up. The back kind of that stage was right under one of the goals at one end of the court.
yeah,
And this was right after the concert. Archie found a basketball somewhere, and from all the way in the corner, he threw up a shot. And I'm thinking, if he misses, if that bounces, what's going to break something? Da, da, da. And it was nothing but net, straight through, and just bounced right under. And later, I read that Archie was quite a basketball player in his day in high school, and I saw proof of it that night.
yep.
But
But
anyway,
then later,
yeah, I was thinking about another time that we were with them. Doug Cantrell was a part of the Bama Boys for years, played guitar with us, and he was a band director up in Colbert Heights High School, right?
Yeah.
And that is what county? Remind me. That in Lauderdale?
Right. I'm not sure. I have to look it
Anyway,
up to make
up
sure.
there in the northwest corner of Alabama, in Tuscumbia, Florence, Muscle Shoals, that
Well,
area.
it's in Colbert County. It
In
says.
Colbert County. Okay, well, of course it was.
Tuscumbia. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Doug, I think this was maybe a fundraiser for the band, like raising money for the band or something. He got the Inspirations to come in up there at Colbert Heights High School, and the Bama Boys opened up for him that night. And a memory that I've got from this, and me and Loretta shared this with Troy Burns at NQC a couple of years ago, is this was close to the end of Troy's time with the Inspirations, but he was there that night, and at that time Loretta was playing mostly, I think, and because I think it was me and you and Scott and Rodney was doing most of the singing, I believe, at that time, and but we brought Loretta out to sing a song, and she did really good, enjoyed it, and then she went back, and then we sung one more song, and then after that song ended, and Troy Burns from All Stage said, "Let that alto sing some more." Do you remember that? Do you remember hearing that?
Yep.
Yes. We told him that story, reminded him of it, and he said, come here, and called his wife over there, and he repeated the whole story, word for word, like we had just told him. He said, I was even an encourager back then, because Loretta told him it was an encouragement to her.
Yep.
So anyway, from that time period, this is a song that I went and pulled. I think this is a song that it may speak to somebody tonight. I think there's somebody probably need to hear this song on this night as I was pulling it. So let's listen to the Inspirations sing about In the Eye of the Storm.
Like a ship sailing out on a trip so rough and long, so far from shore, so far from home. I set out in search of a reason to go on, and there I found it in the eye of the storm. No matter what storm clouds may rock this ship of mine, the light of my Savior will lead me safely through the night. Though my ship may be rocking and my sails may be torn, I shall rest in the eye of the storm. When the wind and water rages and the billows begin to roll, the blessed rock of ages speaks peace to my soul. He holds me in his arms, so safe and so warm, and I find shelter in the eye of the storm. No matter what storm clouds may rock this ship of mine, the light of my Savior will lead me safely through the night. Though my ship may be rocking and my sails may be torn, I shall rest in the eye of the storm. No matter what storm clouds may rock this ship of mine, may be torn, I shall rest in the eye of the storm.
The Inspirations and the Eye of the Storm here on the Champion Brothers broadcast, reminiscing about some of the fine folks that we've had the opportunity to sing with over the years, open up for, whatever you want to say. But yeah, what a great song from the Inspirations, Eye of the Storm.
Indeed, a great one.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the opportunities we had over the years, and even the opportunities we have now to share this music and to share the gospel in this way. It's such a joy to be able to do this. I mean, it's great to hang out with my brother on an hour, whenever we get on here.
Yeah.
It's great to play these songs and to hear from you folks. It's great to tell you about these times that we're bringing groups to the area, like on May 10th when New Ground's going to be coming to Vernon, Alabama. It's a joy to be able to help make that happen, and you make that happen by being there and by telling others to be there and sharing about the events that we host. I mentioned Troy Burns. We got Troy Burns and his family coming to Fayette later in the year. We'll be talking about that one before long, and we've got some more good ones coming up. But yeah, this is just a joy, and a song like that just grabs me and jerks me back into focus on the reason we even do any of it when I listen to a song like that, In the Eye of the Storm.
And I'm still just overwhelmed that one of our most faithful listeners, especially of the last few that we've done, is one of mine and your all-time favorite teachers, Miss Geraldine Chambry. Says, great memories. Thanks. Thank you, Miss Chambry. Always such a blessing to hear from you, and thank you for letting us know that you stopped by tonight. Love me some Miss Chambry.
That's great.
Lots of great memories. So we'll play this last one and then wrap up and tell them about the singing again if you want to.
Okay.
But probably the group that we have sung more with than anybody else, I don't know if that's a given or not, but would be the Bishops, because we had them so many years at the Bama Boys Summer Special and other places. So.
That's right. Yeah, Mark Bishop and his family were. I think 10 years in a row we had them either in Millport, South Lamar High School, or in Fayette at the Fayette Civic Center or Belleville Community College. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I just wanted to wind up. That's probably the most recent one because I was thinking of a time when we had them. I believe this might have been our last Bama Boys Summer Special that we had there at Belleville State Community College. We had the Bishops in. Y2K was the year, I believe, of that. And I thought about this song that Mark wrote and that Mark's featured on. And the memory I had is that night that they're doing sound check, or that afternoon, they're set up there at Bevel and they were doing a sound check. And this song started playing. You were in there, and I was in there. And Mark said, "Hey, Chris, listen to this one. See if you can tell who I've been listening to lately." Do you remember him saying that?
I do.
And he played this song, and yeah, to us, it was so clear once this song starts, the kind of style that he was talking about. So y'all listen to this song, and yeah, maybe put it in the comments if you know who he might have been listening to at that time to kind of come up with the style of this song. But what a great message he did. He delivered in this song. There's going to come a time, whether you're a believer or you're not a believer, there's going to come a time when you're going to change your mind, because the Bible says that. One day we will all bow before him. And so Mark penned this song so great, and what a great delivery. The song about when you change your mind.
Well, you don't believe there's a God in heaven with the good news to impart. You've already decided, so you never invited Jesus into your heart. Or would you change your story if you knew the glory was waiting on the other side? Will you make it into heaven, or will you get left behind? Well, I guess it all depends on when you change your mind. When you change your mind, you're gonna find the love of God and sing about amazing grace. Or you can wait a little while and become a believer when you meet him face to face. Will you make it into heaven, or will you get left behind? Well, I guess it all depends on when you change your mind.
it's a fairy tale they heard about in Sunday school. And they think that maybe we're a little crazy living by the golden rule. But when they hear the trumpet on the day of judgment, they'll see it in a different light. Will they make it into heaven or will they get left behind? Well, I guess it all depends on when they change their minds. When you change your mind, you're gonna find the love of God and sing about amazing grace. Or you can wait a little while and become a believer when you meet Him face to face. Will you make it into heaven or will you get left behind? Well, I guess it all depends on when you change your mind. Will they make it into heaven or will they get left behind? Well, I guess it all depends on when you change your mind.
There's some Bishop's music, and when you change your mind, wrapping up the music portion of the Champion Brothers broadcast this evening. Now, Brad Shackelford guessed, but I'm going to disqualify him because I told this story. His faithful friend was off and on thinking about doing that song, and he said, "I'm guessing Buck Owens before it starts." Well, yeah, because I told you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just fine. I think I did, but I'm not sure. But yes, that's who Mark told us that he had been listening to. And
Yeah.
since then, there's been several songs that he has recorded, and I'll send him a text. And I said, "Well, you must have been listening to this or that."
Yeah.
Because I remember back in COVID times, Mark had just released a new album and had a song that came out. Well, shoot, I'm trying to think of what the the name of it was. But anyway, I put together a little video because that was when I was going to the park every day and locking myself in for 8 hours and didn't have a whole lot to do, and made a video of that Mark Bishop song because when I had listened into it, the piano break sounded like the Peanuts, Charlie Brown, and all that. So I
Yeah.
did a video on that. So
Cool.
anyway, so yeah, it's
Cool.
fun listening to Mark songs and trying to guess who he's been listening to ever since he told us that one about Buck Owen.
Yeah, they definitely, well, those guys did the tracks and all. They definitely captured that Bakersfield sound on that one
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Well, there you go. There's my memories for tonight.
Yeah.
All the way back when we first started singing, all the way up until to Y2K. I stopped right there, but and I think that night was actually the Bama Boys as we were kind of fading, and I think Chosen Witness actually might have even sung that night as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were just kind of getting rolling, and so yeah. Anyway,
But somebody else that we, to my knowledge, have not gotten to sing with before is New Ground.
that's right. We've never been on the stage with Newground, so buddy, we can check it off come May the 10th, can't we?
Yep, because they're going to come to Vernon, Alabama, to the Vernon City Complex, May 10th, 2 weeks from this Saturday, starting at 6 o'clock. And Chosen Witness and Faithful Friends will do a little singing at the beginning. Then we're going to turn it over to New Ground, and they will electrify the night.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So y'all come on over to Vernon to the city complex right there in downtown Vernon, the old Lamar County High School auditorium. It's now the city complex. They've got the library and city offices and all that kind of stuff in there. So just come on over and be with us on May 10th, starting at 6 o'clock. And I think maybe for the first time ever, I'm not positive, but before we go off, we know when we're going to be on next.
Isn't that something?
Is
that we planned
I
that
was
far
thinking
ahead?
about that. It was like, wow, I don't think we've ever done this before. Planned one before we did one. So
Right. Yeah. So hopefully everything will stay playing like we want it to and nothing happens. But if nothing happens, we're going to be back here, same time, same place, same day next week.
Yep.
And we will have a special guest talking all about that night in Vernon, Alabama. So
Yeah.
you want to come and listen.
So y'all come and hang out with us next Thursday night, which that'll be what, May the 1st
May the 1st. Yep.
at 6:30 is when we're going to start, just like we did tonight. And
Yep.
just come back and be with us.
Do it.
So put
Yes.
that on your calendar now, and then put May 10th on your calendar, and come be with us in Vernon, live and in living color, so we can, get to see you in person and shake your hand and hug your neck, and you can tell us what you like and don't like about this deal or whatever.
There you go. I'll be all ears,
Yeah.
ready to listen.
So, but yeah, this has been a fun night remembering a lot of those good singings from back in the day.
Yep.
Anything else you got to tell?
I think my mind's clear for now.
All righty. Well, like we said, we'll see you back here on the various channels next Thursday night, May 1st at 6:30. Till then, y'all have yourselves a splendid week. We love you, and good night, everybody.
See ya.